The views and opinions expressed on this program do not reflect the company, owners, management, staff, clients, or partners.
It's Friday, the 17th day of June, 2022. Welcome to the Daily Hour, brought to you by Medical House One Communications and Lindo's. I'm Jamal Hartman. She's Sancha Durham, and Leanna Lambert will be with us in a bit to bring you the latest in her news break, brought to you by People's Pharmacy. Sancha, it's Friday. How are you?
It's Friday. I was just saying, I'm not sure I've been here on a Friday before.
Yeah, you ditch us. You take those early weekends on us. You know,
Happy
you.
Friday.
Yeah. Happy Friday to you too. You and Maddox usually don't visit us on days like this.
No. Friday.
Well,
Speak-
first of all,
Go ahead.
condolences to you and your family.
Thank
Loss of
you.
your grandmother.
Yeah, the matriarch of our family, my grandma Mavis Tatum. She, as she likes to be called, the MVP. She likes
Mm,
to do that from an early age. Yeah, we lost her last Saturday. So thank you, Jamal. Thank
you're very welcome. You're very welcome. And may her memories be carried on through all of you. And of course, the young ones like Maddox, may you tell them enough so that they appreciate the work that she done.
Thank you.
Look, little technical challenges before we came on, folks. But here we are. It was not Leanna. It was not Sancha. It was.
I've never seen Jamal so discombobulated.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell you all what it was, but let's just say you can't hear folks unless you have stuff plugged in. It's not as complicated as you think. I just
Yeah.
tell you how silly. That's what kind of
Is
Friday.
this your new board, Jamal?
No, the newborn's right there. I haven't set it up yet.
Uh,
Yeah. I got my new baby yesterday, folks. Smaller, more compact. It was like Christmas in June, Sanch.
You could go on the road with this one, huh?
Well, I go on random, but that one. Oh boy, it's gonna be a weekend of playing, and no, holiday on Monday. But look, did you do any carnival activities last night?
But no, Carnival like creeped up on me so fast.
Mhm.
It just came out of nowhere. And
Mhm.
maybe because we haven't had it recently. So yeah, I actually do not have any plans to do anything for Carnival, but I need to sort that out.
You participated before?
No.
Oh, okay, all right. So it's not just me. It's
Well,
there's young
I like
people like
to
Leanna.
Yeah, I like to at least so I know I've gone to watch on
Mhm,
2 occasions.
mhm.
I've never been to any of the parties, haven't been to the raft up, but I feel like it's time, right? I need to
Mm,
experience this. I've done carnival in other places.
You ain't getting no younger. I mean, yeah, no, seriously. I said that out loud. I'm sorry.
Wow.
I'm sorry. I didn't really. Sometimes it just, it's the sherry tongue. I call it.
I could do things within my age range.
I didn't mean to say that. Jeez.
I'm not trying to put on a bikini and go palancing on the road. But
A little something, a little something.
get a little cute, do a
Yeah.
little shake.
I mean, I'm a take my place in the spectator section and just enjoy the sights and.
Maddox, when he was a baby,
Uh-huh.
my son Maddox used to call them girl gumbies. So up to this day, we refer to them as the girl. He's like, "Is the girl gumbies this weekend?" Yes, girl gumbies are coming out.
Love that. So, no, hey, I just wish everyone a good, safe time. But it is, National Heroes Weekend,
Mhm.
right, in Bermuda. And I think it's only fair. And good morning to all of you. Happy Friday, traveling Trotty. tech issues, new toys. It happens. It happens. But anyway, greetings, everyone, and thanks for making us part of your daily routine. A good one today as we welcome Rick Richardson on to discuss the Hamilton Rotary a bit later. The daily play is the feud. So some fun with Sancha. Look, it's the feud. So it's about 4 or 5 answers each question, but there's only one number one. All right, Sanch? Only one number one.
Okay.
All right. But today we want to talk. It's National Heroes Weekend in Bermuda. So questions very easy. First off, does everyone know who all the national heroes are? And it's okay if you don't, because it's okay if you don't. But let's go through the national heroes before we get to today's question. So the national heroes in Bermuda, we have a list, and let's share the list. So obviously you all probably can't see that because I can just about see it. But we have Dame Lois Brown Evans, who I believe was the first one. She has quite a track record, the first female lawyer in Bermuda, first Black woman elected to Parliament. I believe she was the first opposition leader in the Commonwealth as well. So she was the first. Dr. E.F. Gordon, and condolences to the Gordon family on the loss of his son, Keith. He was a physician who came to Bermuda from Trinidad in the early 1900s. He was also a member of Parliament, and he is well known for his being the first president of the Bermuda Industrial Union. We have Dr. Palu Camarafego, to some Dr. Roosevelt Brown. He was a civil rights leader. He was also a very well known and respected civil engineer and past member of Parliament. Sir Henry James Tucker, who was a former banker as well as parliamentarian and leader of the United Bermuda Party in Bermuda. Mary Prince, who was born an enslaved woman, and she just had a holiday named after her first, folks. The first British woman to publish a slave narrative. So then you have Gladys Morrill, Missick Morrill. Now, I've read a lot about her because last year she was the only one I didn't know, but she founded the Bermuda Women's Suffrage that led to women's right to vote. So she played a key role. Sir Edward Richards, E.T. Richards. So that is the father of former finance minister Bob Richards. And he was the first premier, official titled premier of Bermuda in the United Bermuda Party. Also came from the islands south of us. And then there's the only living national hero in Bermuda, guest on this show earlier this year, Sir John Swan. Sir John, we all know, a successful businessman and the longest serving premier in the history of Bermuda. So those are your national heroes. Those are the people who've been recognized with the title of a national hero for Bermuda. So it's only 8. And I believe legislation was passed this year will only take place either every 5 or every 10 years. And next time, every 10. And then the next time to nominate would be in 2025. That said, folks, the question of the morning is pretty much very simple. I would love to see what the audience thinks on this. Who is someone, dead or alive, that you believe should be recognized as a Bermudian national hero? Dead or alive. And the reason I say dead or alive is because sometimes in life, Sancha, it always seems like we give people their flowers after they're gone. It seems like we have more respect for the dead than the living, right? And so this is a question of who is someone who's perished or who's still here that you believe should be recognized as a Bermudian national hero. Who you got, Sancho, off the top of your head? Who comes to mind for you?
This is a difficult one for me. And I don't know. I took a while to think about this, and I said to myself, I was like, you know what? I would love to hear what the audience said, because I'm not sure they're gonna agree with my one pick at this point, because I don't know. I need to hear ideas. You know, my pick is maybe a little controversial.
Well, they never agree with me, so they love us. Though.
I could be a little biased. I was thinking, what about Julian Hall?
Well, to many, he was probably simply the best lawyer that we've ever had on the face of the earth, right?
That Julian Hall is my only godfather.
Really?
Fun fact.
Her bias. That's why you said bias. Okay. But I don't think that, I mean, in fairness, I don't think it's a bias if it's a truth when you know what I'm saying?
Right. But I mean, he was such an amazing mind. And I feel like if you look through, I mean, obviously we need to look at what's the criteria of someone
Right.
being nominated
Mm-hmm.
for a national hero in Bermuda. But he was the first person that popped into mind. And then I kept thinking, and I'm like, I'm not sure. Who do you have, Jamal? Who would
Here's the
you?
thing. And I love Julian Hole simply because of how he got behind us with Bermudians Against the Draft and then conscription. And he was a conscious individual.
Mhm.
But my problem with this list, my problem with the list, and honestly, it's not to be offensive, but I could say good morning and offend people. So take this as it is. My problem with the list and people's thoughts when it comes to these lists is always someone who's been involved in politics. And first off, I don't like the term hero, number
Yeah.
one. But politicians are not heroes to me.
Right.
I mean, I had some stupid idiot hit me up yesterday. Yeah, I said stupid idiot hit me up yesterday, asking why I always talk negative about Bermudian politicians and praise US politicians. I said, you're one idiot. Find one post or even recording of me praising. I don't praise people, number one. I give props, I give credit. I don't praise people. Number two, I don't think highly of politicians regardless of what country they're in.
I was just
So
gonna say Jabal doesn't really he don't mess with politicians.
no, I don't. Like, I'm an equal opportunity offender. Like, seriously, I'm consistent with that. Like, what politician in the US would I praise? Like, what? Because I say, well, maybe I'll be considered like Donald Trump because of the way I think. Like, I probably, don't agree with democracy for what it's worth. But I mean, I just don't get it. But that said, Sancha, getting back to the topic, is I think our minds need to broaden when thinking about this because, like, for instance, let's see what the audience is saying. We've got Carlton Fleming says Clyde Best, right?
Right.
We've got Headleen Stevenson Swan says definitely Dale Butler. I mean, it's hard for me because, again, Dale Butler is a former politician, but he's done so much more. Though, like Julian Hole, they were involved in politics, but they've done so much more, right? Dale Butler was, probably still holds the title as the youngest principal Bermuda's had. He is very active in our community, not active in terms of charitable stuff, but educating. Like, he's big in terms of homelessness and making sure people know their history and connecting young people. So I wouldn't have a problem with it. I just wish he wasn't a politician.
Yeah, yeah. But that's a good one, Dale Butler.
Yeah. Traveling Trotty says maybe Agnes May Robinson. I'm here to be educated. Please tell us more who Agnes May Robinson is and why she should be nominated. James Burt says, how about groups like the Progressive Group as well as individuals? Here's the thing, James. I remember someone reached out and said, I think Bermudians Against the Draft, right? And I was always thinking, like, but it's about hero. It's about, I thought it was about individuals, but that's not a bad idea. The Progressive Group. For me, I don't know what the exact criteria is, Sencha. But for me, the criteria, when I think of heroes, when I went to St. John's Ambulance, lady said, our job here is to help people, not to be a hero. Heroes die, right? And we're not helping anyone if we go down with them. So if someone's drowning and we can't swim, you don't jump in because that means it's going to be two people gone. Find the best way to help them. When I think about a national hero in this, without knowing the exact criteria for this, and chances are it's probably not much to it. I mean, it's probably like member of the British Empire or something like that, right? It really doesn't take much. I just, something tells me that.
Right.
I mean, they give those things out like cupcakes. But I say this, and I think they're trying to make this more exclusive.
Yeah. I'm happy that they changed it to 10 years because, I mean, every year.
I don't think, and again, this is just a reality. I don't think it's necessary to be every year, right? But if you ask me, because I still haven't answered your question, who would I nominate as a national hero? The truth of that, I would probably say right now and it's going to be my bias. I would probably say Brownlow Place. And my bias is I didn't know Mr. Place. I had no I mean, he was probably gone. Or Montague Shepard. Those two stand out. And my bias is because these are black men who did what Glenn Blakeney has done, and what we're trying to do with Bermuda Communications is, in a majority black country, have a media that black people can rely on, black owned media. So for me, what they done with media back then to give black people a voice through media, that to me, they are heroic. They are. I mean, you look at the number of people under Montague Shepard to Sturgis Griffin, Elroy Smith. Like, it's just a list of people. And so for me, those are people that need to be recognized. They weren't politicians, but they made a huge difference in a time when black people needed a voice. So Montague Shepard and Brownlow Place will be the two for me that I would nominate.
Yeah. But I mean, I think that's a good point. You know, today we are looking at politicians, and it's so much more outside of that, right? People that are doing amazing things outside of being a politician, right? Sometimes politicians do stuff just because, you know, there's good things because they're politicians.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, you build the political resume through looking good in public. Like, you want to give a backpack so that someone like rewards you and says, "Oh, you're this great community person. You do stuff." To me, honestly, heroes are not charitable. They're not charitable. Heroes are people who actually do things to improve people's lives. And so if we're looking at heroes, I want to see people who have changed the way of, let's use last night. Credit to Golden State Warriors. They won the championship for the fourth time, right? In the last 10 years. Well, we've got to give credit. Steph Curry literally has changed and revolutionized basketball. How can you not give this man his props as a top 10 player all time? Literally plays the game like it's a video game, right? He revolutionized basketball. That's what I'm looking for. Who has revolutionized something that's improved the way that the entire population lives? Who has changed things and improved the way the country is run? It doesn't take politics. Who are those activists? Who are those people who have died on the front line trying to make the space for us to live a better place? So I don't mind a Mary Prince.
Yeah.
Let's go to the audience. The question is, folks, it's National Heroes Weekend. Who is someone dead or alive that you believe should be recognized as a Bermudian national hero? We've got Traveling Charlie explained who is Agnes May Robinson, founded the Sunshine League, which provides a safe haven for young people. Sam Cat Place says Dale Butler, my cousin Brownlow Place. See, we're thinking the same. Brownlow Place. If I had to choose, 5 years would be better for selection, in my opinion. I agree. 10 years is a big gap, but I think what they're trying to do is not just give it to every and anybody just because. Nicole Walker says, yes, Julian Ho and Dale Butler also came to mind for me, as well as Patrina Painter and Dr. Eva Hudson. Sean Smith says the individual or group to be designated as a national hero should meet most of the following criteria. And he goes on to say, has made a significant and lasting contribution to Bermuda, has enriched the lives of others. What does enrich the lives of others mean, though? Because another person I would like to nominate is Dr. Barbara Ball. Dr. Barbara Ball actually did that. Dr. Barbara Ball was a white physician who took black clients. That was unheard of back in the 1950s. She broke barriers. She fought. This woman didn't have to do what she could have been living a lavish life as a white doctor.
Yeah.
But that's what I think about when enrich the lives of others. Honestly, folks, and tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm petty. Tell me if I'm just a badass person. But politicians don't do that for me. Politicians don't. They just don't. They don't. Like, and I'm not picking on Premier David Brett. I'm not. But if you go back, right, the Honorable Ewart Brown was a doctor. You can say he enriched people's lives in that space, right? You've got Sir John Swan. He was a businessman prior. You can say he enriched people's lives. He done stuff. Even Michael Dunkley employed hundreds of people, as well as Craig Kennedy. If you ask yourself about Premier David Burt, what has he done to enrich someone's life outside of politics? That's what you ask yourself, right? So that's my problem with politics. It's like, what have you done? Even if I'm here serving as an employee, I am your boss, right, in the private sector. What have I done to enrich the lives of others in the general public, the overall population? You know, Sean Smith has a legacy that will stand the test of time and have continued relevance in the future, has contributed to the quality of life and destiny of Bermuda. I can say that most of those who have nominated, including the politicians, have done that. Be considered as outstanding in the area of activity, has ready name recognition among the general population, is recognized by her profession, and or organization is reflective of Bermuda's cultural heritage and diversity. Charlotte Fox says, I'm with you, Brown, no place. What are your thoughts, folks? Who, based on what Sean Smith shared, what are your thoughts? Who, dead or alive, who should be recognized as a Bermudian national hero? We've got a lot of people tuned in, but only 5 people gave ideas. That tells you something.
Yeah.
We don't believe we have those kind of people amongst us, really.
Yeah.
And it's interesting, the 2 people I named, they're no longer living. I cannot think of it. Let's see. I'm not going to be like that. If you told me, Sancha, name a living person.
Living person.
A living person in Bermuda. You know I choose, and it's biased again.
Who?
Larry Marshall Sr. You know why I choose Larry Marshall Sr.? Because this is a gentleman that literally, if he did what Sean Smith just explained.
Mm-hmm.
He literally enriched the lives of others. Before us, Bermudians Against the Draft, him and his family put on their backs, right? You literally financially $250,000 legal bill to end a racist and discriminatory law in Bermuda. He wasn't a politician, he was an activist.
Mm-hmm.
And he took up a challenge, not because he didn't want his sons be conscripted and he wanted them to be lazy, but he took that challenge because of the amount of sexual assaults that were taking place in the Royal Bermuda Regiment. If it weren't for Larry Marshall Sr., right, those sexual assaults wouldn't have been exposed. And I said this at the time. If this happened into one of those private schools, there'd be a big issue. But it's the Royal Bermuda Regiment where the majority of the conscripts are Black. He exposed that. He exposed that freedom of there were 10 human rights violations that take place when men are conscripted. He exposed that. What he done was improve the Royal Bermuda Regiment to make sure that it became a viable career for Bermudians. And what he also did in the process was eliminate or eradicate, to some point, it being a space for sexual predators. That's huge. Because I'll tell you this, if it were women, this would be the biggest news and he would be getting the Me Too championship trophy. But because he's a man and it was Black males, he will never get that credit. But Larry Marshall Sr. for sure, because what he done will not be appreciated until years and decades later, because he saved Black men from an institution that protected abuse in Bermuda. That would be my living person.
I have been schooled today. Thank you, Jamal.
No problem. I like Flora Duffy, but no. What has she done to enrich the lives? I mean, winning a medal, I mean, in that case, we should have just gave to Clarence Hill as well, right?
Yeah.
I don't think, again, I would go with Clyde Bass, as was mentioned earlier, because he changed English football. He was dealing with racism in that. But winning, I mean, what has she done? And again, she may do some great things later on. She may come back to Bermuda and be in the community and enriching the lives and creating the next Flora Duffy. But heroes are not people that Steph Curry didn't like just enrich people's lives because he won an NBA championship. He did it because he revolutionized the game.
Yeah.
But is he really a hero? Has he enriched the lives of others? That's like Michael Jordan. Has he enriched the lives? Maybe LeBron James has enriched the lives of others. He's created a school, right? The I Promise School. That's enriching the lives of others. Has Flora Duffy done any of that?
No.
That's my question. I'm not quite sure I get the Flora Duffy. And that's what I'm saying. I'm not disagreeing. You all choose who you want. I'm just saying I think we throw things around too often. A hero this, hero that. It's about enriching the lives of others. Have you done it? Have you created a better space for people to live in?
Yeah.
I don't know. Ottawell Simmons, Evelyn James Barnett, she says, Ottawell Simmons. Hmm. He done a lot. And I remember when I was young, and I say young, 2, 3 years old, I knew his name before Sir John Swans.
Yeah.
And my only thing, politician again. We've got to have more people in our community that are worthy than people who were in politics.
Who are our activists right now? Like who are we considering
Stuart,
pouring?
Stuart Hayward was one,
Mm.
but he was also a politician and independent. You had Best. You do have people like Cordell Riley and Lynn Winfield. You have, um, you're right. There aren't any real. Well, this is why I always say the PLP needs a pressure group, because previous governments had pressure groups. You had the People's Campaign. You had Best. You just had pressure groups. There are no real activists, and that's why the PLP gets away with it. Juwan Hayward says Olympic gold medal. That doesn't enrich the lives of anybody. Again, it's nothing heroic. It's an accomplishment, but is it heroic?
Yeah.
Like, if she came back and done what this person said, what Forty Rigo did, maybe. But again, giving someone a national hero because they won a gold medal, whether it's the only or not, I just don't think that's heroic. Sorry.
Yeah. And I think that's a good comparison if you talk about Flora Duffy to Forty Rigo. You look at what Forty Rigo has done for boxing in Bermuda, or just, sports in Bermuda.
Mhm.
Like, he has enriched a lot of lives. Yeah.
Liana's calling, but Lee, I'm coming. We're coming. Don't mind us. It's Friday. It's a good one. David Wingate, environmentalist. That's a good name. I think he done an excellent job of educating us. In terms, like, for instance, I didn't know about birds. I didn't care. I'm gonna be honest. His art and his education, even Mr. Stuart Hayward, I learned from him. Like, I remember calling Mr. Hayward one day. Why don't you support Bermudans Against Driving? I told this story here before, and he calmly, Jamel, you have your cause, and we have focus on our cause. It's not that I don't support you, but this is where our energy is, and he explained it to me, and I was just like, how is he so calm dealing with this stuff? I don't, me, I'm an animal. Traveling Trotty says, Jamel, I see your point about politicians, as that is part of their job to improve the lives of the residents in Bermuda. Yeah, I don't, and most of them don't, but that's just my opinion. But no, I agree, Traveling Trotty. That's my point. That's my point. It's like, there's nothing heroic about being in politics. There's nothing. The fact that we think that is a problem. The fact that we credit people for getting into politics and like this great, it's not. It's easy. These are people looking for a job for the most part, unless you're Sir John Swan or Dr. Ewart Brown, where you already have a good career going.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're businessmen, you're doctors, whatever. For the most part, the modern day politician is looking. They need a paycheck. Michelle White said, Central, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I am challenged to think of a hero living or not, but the only person that truly came to mind was activist Danny Pan. She was not born Bermudian, but she is now as Bermudian as the next.
Please, when you all say this, can you just explain for the audience?
I don't know who that is.
Who they are? Because, and again, like, as the criteria, they must have a legacy where people know who they are, right? But just explain who they are when you speak of them. Kenny Bascom. Explain why Kenny Bascom. Why? I know he's done great work in the prisons, but again, just explain. Kenny Bascom has done a lot of work, and he was an ally of us. I'll say that much. But just explain, folks, when you share yours. Lee, we're coming. Renee Simmons says, my aunt Winona Jennings spent 35 years of her life in Monrovia, Liberia, as a missionary, taking care of orphan African children, and escaped during the Civil War there with many children to USA. That is awesome. That is awesome. Yeah. I wonder if the criteria, though, is enriching people in Bermuda.
Yeah.
I wonder that. Let's bring Leanna in, because we're way behind time. Good morning, Lee. How are you?
Morning.
Hey.
You got your carnival feathers on.
Yes, because you know what, my sister Sherry is in here because she's my other like carnival guru. Sandra, I just heard that, you haven't partaken yet, and, there's still hope, sister. There's still
Yeah.
hope.
I've done
But-
plenty of carnivals in Canada,
Mhm.
none in Bermuda. So,
See, we got to fix that. We got to fix that for sure.
I
We
smell a
got years
daily
to
hour.
come.
I smell a daily hour carnival next year. That doesn't include me.
Yeah,
why
maybe. No,
wouldn't you,
why wouldn't you come?
Somebody has to spectate and take pictures of you all.
Jamal? You can do that from the truck.
We
Oh,
can hire people to do that.
A better view.
Sherry says she's shocked Sencha hasn't participated.
Sherry,
Uh,
morning.
Lee, you look nice, Lee. Like
Thank you. These are my feathers from 2018 when I participated with Intense Band. So, I was gonna put the big ones on, but I said I don't think they're ready for that yet because there's a lot of my colleagues that haven't participated. So I'll gradually ease you guys in.
So Maddox would be proud of you being a girl gumbo.
yes. I'm like looking like a girl Gumby according to me.
Yes, Maddox.
Lee, I gotta ask you. I mean, based on your feathers, you're my national hero today. But
Oh, thanks, Mal.
you bring in the spirit. This is like us.
I have to.
You know,
It's a fantastic Friday. It's a holiday weekend. We're outside. We're excited. Like we gotta, keep this energy going.
So tell me something. Is Carnival, attached to Bermuda National Heroes Weekend? And no one in the audience said like maybe Sakdeo or anyone that participated in Carnival. Interesting.
Yeah, people that's changed the culture. I totally hear you, and I agree with you in terms of who are these people that have changed things on our island. I'm with Sancha though. I was listening in the background trying to take notes.
I don't know. I'm not in agreement with that suggestion.
No, not the suggestion. Just taking notes. Just taking
I
notes.
love her. Hey, yo. This is what I'm talking about. This is the style. Lee, let's get over to you. You know what? Our guest ain't backstage, so we may continue this conversation after Leanna's news break, folks. So, national heroes, get it together. Who are your national heroes? Lee, you ready?
I think I'm ready.
Over to you, Lee.
Thanks, Jamal and Sancha, and good morning to everyone that's tuned in with us this morning. I hope everyone is having a great start to what we are calling this fantastic Friday. I'm Leanna Lambert, and it's time for the Daily Hour News Break brought to you by People's Pharmacy. While kicking off our top stories, health officials have released the latest figures after a system crash yesterday, and they were unable to provide a COVID update. Now, the number of active COVID-19 cases has dropped slightly, with a total of 334 positive results recorded in the latest test results, giving a positivity rate of 4%. But there has also been 348 recoveries in the same period, bringing the number of active cases down from 389 to 375. Now, there are 10 people in hospital with the virus, although none are in the intensive care. Now, last night, Health Minister Kim Wilson warned residents and visitors to remain vigilant over the holiday weekend. Ms. Wilson said there is still a lot of COVID in the community as we head into the long holiday weekend. Her advice: while enjoying the Heroes Weekend festivities, wash your hands frequently, use hand sanitizer, wear a mask if you cannot physically distance, and take antigen tests before and after you socialize to always know your status. And if you test positive, what does she suggest? Please stay home. In other news, let's follow in the footsteps of our sister jurisdiction. Now, that is coming from the opposition as they urge government to follow the example of tourism competitor, the Bahamas, after they had announced this week that it was scrapping its COVID-19 travel health visa. Now, Michael Dunkley, the shadow health minister, is said to have highlighted the announcement made yesterday by Chester Cooper, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, Investments, and Aviation for the Caribbean country. Bahamas Information Services said that the popular destination would be dropping the health visa as of Sunday as part of a further streamlining of COVID-19 entry protocols for travelers. Now, Mr. Dunkley is calling that this procedure is an embarrassment, and insisted that there was no justification for obtaining the TA, as the world turns away from closed borders with restrictive and bureaucratic submissions. And as we've been discussing, although this is the first year we are not announcing a Bermuda hero, carnival gurus and revelers are in full swing as the Bermuda Heroes weekend officially kicked off last night with the first Fet Evolve held at the Fort Hamilton. Now, things only livened up from there as partiers made their way to a 5 a.m. Oasis Sunrise Fete, which is still taking place this moment at Bars Bay Park. So if you happen to work in the city, don't be alarmed by the loud music. It's just people celebrating one of the island's most anticipated events. Then there will be a jammed packed weekend with a swizzle at Sunrise Fete beginning at 3 a.m. tomorrow, a water raft up tomorrow, followed by a Euphoria beach party. Then Sunday, there's quite the lineup with Weta, a waterworks fete unlike no other, with not one but two all white parties, Glow and Pure, following after. Then on Monday, the event many have all been waiting for, a messy but epic jam juve experience filled with paint, powder, and water. And then it's time to go home for a quick change for masqueraders to put on beautiful costumes and feather fiascos. What a weekend ahead. Taking a look at today's weather, we have a high near 79 and a low near 73 degrees. Bermuda, we are welcoming another largely fine mid-June day. We can expect a mix of sun and clouds today with a chance of an early shower, but my carnival fanatics have no fear as high pressure ensures mainly fine and dry weather into the weekend. Now, a front is expected to approach from the northwest on Sunday, bringing about a few showers and increasing winds for a time. The cooler temperatures gradually rebound over the next couple of days. That's all for our Daily Hour news break brought to you by People's Pharmacy. Now let's head back to Jamal and Sancha in the studio for today's Daily Focus.
Well.
I had to give the lineup. It was just only right that people understand what's going on.
Oh no, Lee, we appreciate the lineup. I just sent you guys a little WhatsApp just now.
Oh gosh.
But just read it. I'll talk about it a little later. But
Okay.
I wanna say this. Lee, thank you for bringing the carnival spirit, because right now I feel like Bermuda, I always say this, and I don't mean it to be derogatory, but Bermudians love a holiday and alcohol, and then they sober up, they realize the problems are still there.
Yeah.
But enjoy the crap out of this holiday because you all deserve it.
Yes.
Deserve it. Sancha, I know you got something good for us. What day of the year is it?
Oh, I'm sitting here like, oh. Back. I'm back. Okay.
No worries.
So today, June 17th, is Nurses Assistant Day. Nursing Assistants Day is celebrated every year on June 17th. It honors the dedication of nurses whose work saves countless of lives. Nurses assistants work alongside nurses to assist patients with their daily living needs and other healthcare tasks. Since 1977, certified nurses assistants get a National Day of Appreciation, which is followed by a full week of celebrations. Did you know that the certified nursing assistant profession began during World War I, when
Really?
8,000 nurses were deployed to serve under the Red Cross program? Their efforts are still remembered and appreciated today. Happy Nurses Assistance Day. I can say when my grandmother was in the hospital, the nurses come in, but it's always the nurses assistants that pop in to make sure, are you okay? Or, they are there. They are there. So we appreciate you.
Yep. Shout out to all the nurses out there.
For real. Y'all do a wonderful job. I don't have the stomach. I'm weak. You all are the strongest, some of the strongest people, honestly.
I was thinking that too. I'm like, what? You have to be a special person to wake up and say, this is what you, because the nurses assistant tends to do a lot of the dirty work, right?
The lifting and the cleaning and
to want to do that. So props to you.
Lee, you're not going to be out and flying this weekend with your feathers.
Are you going to Rihanna us?
Sadly, no. I was so ready though. Trust me, I had this beautiful, like bedazzled bralette, and I was gonna wear, and I have the bigger, larger feathers to put on, and I was gonna sit in a chair and watch the masqueraders come by. But
She was
unfortunately,
gonna Rihanna us. If I
I
saw
was gonna
Rihanna,
Rihanna you.
I thought she was gonna get her Riri on, but she
I
thought
was,
better. She thought better.
yeah. But I've been told to like sit down and relax.
At least she
I'm
heads
gonna
up.
come sit next to you. Let me know where you're gonna be. I'm gonna come
Yeah.
sit with you.
You gotta rock and roll, Lee. Have a wonderful weekend. We'll see you next week.
You guys as well.
Alrighty. We are behind, but that's okay. We're gonna get back to the question, folks. The question of the morning: dead or alive, who do you believe should be recognized as a Bermuda national hero? Put your answers in the comments, and we will get to them when we get back. Stick with us.
People's ACW, located at King Edward VII Memorial Hospital, carries over-the-counter medicines, toys, cards, and even toiletries. Our knowledgeable staff are there whether you're at emergency, visiting family, or a member of BHB staff, to show you our best even when you're feeling your worst. People's ACW, we're here for you.
Hi, I'm Karen, a nurse at the old folks home. These long hours used to kill my feet until my hairdresser told me about a great place to buy a pair of clogs. Medical House. Finally, relief. They also carry uniforms in bright, bold colors. And not to mention the support stockings.
Karen, Miss Soltis bet her bet again.
Oh gosh, these days, I need all the support I can get.
Medical House has relocated next to the Dandytown Field, number 6 Bakery Lane, Pembroke.
It's the first flush of summer, and now that we've at last returned to our customary outdoor lifestyle, we're featuring the Organic Revolution solution to skin protection from high UV levels. Alba Botanica, leader in the field of alternative skincare, who reject the use of chemicals whose names are tongue twisters, and harness the power of tried and tested traditional herbs to afford a high SPF. Try Alba Botanica 95% Aloe After Sun Gel and Lotion, SPF 70 Maximum Sunscreen Spray, and Sunless Tanning Lotion. Lindo's, why go anyplace else?
All right, welcome back to the big show, Central Durham. I'm Jamal Hartman. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by Medical House One Communications, Lindo's, excuse me, and People's Pharmacy. If you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed on our website, folks. Trust me, you don't want to miss the chance for updates, promotions, prizes, and more. Also, if you're on the go and can't watch, that's okay. Download the BCG Radio app, available for both Android and Apple devices, and you can listen to us every single time we go live. You may not be able to see Leanna in feathers, but you can hear us speaking about them. So let's get back to the question: dead or alive, who do you believe should be recognized as the national hero? We've got Media Maya and Karen Simmons for you, Central.
Media Maya says Nalitha Butterfield, founder of Care Learning Center in 1983, she brought the same program into women's prisons. She brought the GED program into the prison system, and in 1984, many books.
So I'm going to let my bias come up.
Okay.
I'm going to let my extreme bias. And I get emotional. I even mentioned her at my mom's service because of the role she played in my life, right? Mm-hmm. And I know, and I as a comment by Evelyn Barnett says, some were activists before they became politicians. It was their activism that made them appealing candidates. Yeah. This is true. However, I still have this issue with the politics. I do. Because once they become politicians, I feel like things get cloudy. I can't say that with all people. I won't say that with all people. And I have a soft spot for Aunt Honey, as most of us call her. I didn't even know Media Maya was old enough to know. But that's the choice. If there was a politician outside of Julian Ho and Otta Wells Simmons, because I actually would agree with those, and Dale Butler, this is one I would go for in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
I absolutely adore her. I love her. And to me, that is the kind of person, and folks, she turned her house into a space where young people, challenged or not, can come and they can get, just had a graduating class offering children the opportunities to get GEDs. These are the kind of people who should be getting funds. This is not charity what she's doing. And this is what I speak about charity. This is not charity. This is the enrichment we're talking about, enriching the culture. This is not about giving somebody a backpack and next year they need a backpack again. This is about giving people the tools to be able to help themselves. So I'm sorry about being this biased, but Media Maya, thank you for that.
Yeah.
Because I would have been kicking myself if I forgot to say that today. And she would have had a right to not speak to me the next time I send her a text to tell her I love her. Karen Simmons, please.
I'm glad that she saved you.
Yeah, she did.
Debbie Ray Rivers, co-founder of Scars, Saving Children and Revealing Secrets, over 11,731 persons certified.
I appreciate the work that she's done, but I'm been very public about my problem with Scars as an organization, not personally. Where has Scars been with Larry Marshall Sr. and the sexual abuse in the Bermuda Regiment? I will express my bias with that. I feel it was political at times. That's my personal opinion. They've been on this show. They're always welcome. But I think heroes should be out to protect everyone.
Yeah.
That means Black adult men too. Just my opinion. Sorry. Karen Simmons says, Martha Dismont, founder of the Family Learning Center, all-inclusive tutoring service, now the Family Center. I have read about Miss Martha Dismont, and I know she's been honored in many ways. I don't think it's a bad idea to put someone like her forward. I don't. James Birch, what do you think about this one, Sancha? James Birch says, the off-duty police officer who disarmed the gunman at Divots. What do you think about something like that? A heroic act versus a heroic life, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That it was heroic what he did in that situation, but also, I mean, we don't know anything else about him outside of that, you know. That was like, if kind of like the Flora Duffy situation. She's gotten a gold medal, but what else is she doing to enrich our country and our culture? And so I'm not sure. It depends on who he is.
Yeah. Indeed. Nicole Walker says, Sheila Cooper, founder of Coalition for Protection of Children and now leads Habitat for Humanity. Trying to think of living non-political heroes is a little difficult. It is, Nicole. So, hey, it is. It really is. Like we can sit here and think all day, and I'm sure we can come up with probably about 5 people, right? I want to make a correction also because so I did get a text where someone said to me, let me just bring it up, folks, because I gotta give you the accuracy. That's one thing you hold me to account. Is I was saying Brownlow Place, right? And I was actually speaking of Alfred Brownlow Place. Brownlow Place is the son, 106. So I was speaking about the father, Alfred Place, that started at the recorder. So that's who I was speaking about. I said Brownlow, it should have been Alfred Brownlow Place. So AB Place, they called him back then. So that's who I was speaking about. And even my father, he knows the rules, texted me during the show saying, Mr. Place is still alive. I'm talking about his father. All right. So I just called my daddy out. I really did.
Just to clarify.
Yeah, just to clarify. Eva Hudson, Education and Civil Rights. Dr. Eva Hudson. What do you think about Dr. Eva Hudson, folks? I think
we both said,
No, I honestly think that Dr. Hudson did so much to educate us.
Bless you.
Thank you. Sorry.
This is a great conversation. I mean, as always, I say names I haven't thought about. Some of them I don't know, haven't heard of. So I'm going to go and do my research. This is a really good conversation, Jamal.
Yeah, and I appreciate people giving names that most of us aren't familiar with. I really do.
Yeah.
But what are your thoughts, folks? Anyone else? Michelle White, Sancha.
Dani Penn is the director of Raleigh, Bermuda. She leads, guides, and nurtures our youth, leading them to be leaders within the community. She touches many lives.
That was earlier where people she mentioned Dani Penn, and some people didn't know who she was. But who else, folks? Who else? Who is someone, dead or alive, that you believe should be recognized as a Bermudian national hero? Like someone who has enriched the lives of others, someone whose legacy will live on, who has created something in Bermuda that is going to benefit your children or grandchildren or your great nieces or great nephews. Like, who is someone you can think of where the work that they've done will live on way beyond their existence, not because of charitable stuff, but because they actually done enriching work, things that are going to improve us. Someone, I mean, it could be a politician. I'm saying, for folks, don't take my personal opinions as gospel. Seriously, I'm sure you don't, but don't think I'm saying not to name politicians. I'm simply saying that I don't agree that politicians are heroes. But as Evelyn Barnett said, a lot of politicians, like, look, Nelson Mandela, many people born late would know him, think he was just a politician. The man spent 80% of his life as an activist. But after his release in 93 or 91, one of those years, he was elected president soon after, right? So I get there are going to be some people who will become activists, but who are some national heroes? Who are people that have changed the direction of our country, who have taken things and just shaped it and made it a better place for us all? Who are those people? Gumbe troop leaders, Traveling Trotty says, I mean, you know, they are some of the people keeping our history, our tradition, our culture alive. How about some business people? Who are some business people that have given people opportunities that they just wouldn't have had? Are there educators out there? Are there doctors out there who have changed the way we do things in Bermuda? This is an interesting conversation for many reasons.
Silence.
It tells me I don't think that we believe we have those kind of people amongst us right now, and that's okay. I said dead or alive, though. I did say dead or alive.
Yeah.
Interesting conversation. Somebody just did it, Sancha. No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. Yes, wink to you. Gina Spence. Gina Spence has done a phenomenal job throughout the community. I gotta give credit where it's due. Sorry. She's done a phenomenal job of trying to keep, with gun violence victims. She's done an incredible job of, just keeping community front and center. So I can understand why she'd be, suggested. You've got people like Suzette Harvey. There are young women who have gone on to utilize the skills they've learned from her to get an education, to create their own careers. That's a person that maybe someone may consider down the road. Donna Pearman from People's Pharmacy, a businesswoman, who has literally, I remember it as, what was it called before People's? We used to call it pyramids. I remember people knew when I used to go to St. Paul's Church every now and then. I said every now and then. I didn't go there regularly. They say, "Oh, go over pyramids, get some What was this? It was Mentos that Nana used to and Grannis used to have at the church. What's it, little Candace? Yeah, Mentos or something. Yeah.
Maddox calls them old lady mints.
Yeah, I'm not getting in trouble. My Nana could still swing, boy. But no, I'm just saying, like, Donna Pearman, someone that should be recognized. The amount of people that she's hired over the years, the opportunities that she's given people,
and just growth throughout the
growth that they've grown from a pharmacy to, like, you can go there. It's a toy store. My niece, I go there. I'm trying to get me something in the pharmacy. Where is she? She's all the way in the toy section over the other side, and just looking at toys. But those are the kind of people I'm thinking about. I can say Glenn Blakeney. I know he was a politician, but he's a businessman. I mean, you think of broadcasting companies in Bermuda, the only Black-owned one, that's unheard of. That's crazy. That's crazy. Someone did say Suzette Harvey too. Aaron Smith, Suzette Harvey. Traveling Trotty said Dr. Tucker Murphy, who leads the Railway Trail improvements. Interesting. I never heard that name. Thank you for that. Have you heard it?
No, I haven't.
Incredible. How about are there any educators? Are there any educators out there that you would recommend? How about any people who've improved Bermuda through sport? Is there anyone through sport that you would recommend? I know people said Clyde Bass. I don't disagree with Clyde Bass, although some people may make the argument his work was done in England, but the work he done in England, being, in terms of on the field, being that player who really kind of helped reshape football for Black players, it has helped because now there are more Black players coming from Bermuda going to England. So I don't disagree with Clyde Bass. I think he has come back. He has coached in Bermuda since, right? He does do work. And that's what I mean in terms of Philadelphia. I'm not saying she can't be one day, But I mean, win the gold medal versus coming back and doing the work. I just don't think it's one and the same.
Yeah.
We like Florida. We love Flora Duffy. She's been on the show. This is not anything to disparage her. So I want to make that clear. I don't want people there. Oh, Sanch and Jamal. Sanch, we have to give away 2 things. We're going to take a quick break, folks. Don't go anywhere. We have to give. I forgot to give away 2 prizes yesterday, right? So we'll come back. Daily Play. We're going to do the feud. Do not go anywhere. I promise. We'll give 2 giveaways today. I'm looking at these feud questions.
Jamal, listen, one day I'm going to relax into these questions.
All right, commercial break.
A lot happens around your home. That is why at One Communications, we have introduced affordable security and video monitoring, because everyone should be able to afford to protect their family. Anytime, from anywhere, One Home Security keeps you connected and puts security in your hands with an easy-to-use smartphone app to control everything. Home security is important to keep you and your family safe. Motion-activated cameras around your home and security monitoring within create a complete security system providing protection both inside and outside your home. Professional monitoring means that there's someone on call with 24/7 protection to notify the authorities and help keep you and your loved ones safe. We are dedicated to whole home protection with indoor and outdoor cameras, smart door locks, motion sensors, and more, so you'll always be connected to what matters most. With professional installation, no upfront hardware fees, and low monthly rates, because keeping your family safe should be affordable for everyone. Total home video monitoring and security, there's no better way to protect your home than with One Home Security.
All right. Thank you. Welcome back to the Big Show. Sancho Durham. I'm Jamal Hart. Thanks again to One Communications, Medical House, Lindo's, and People's Pharmacy. So it's time for the Heineken 0.0 Daily Play. Heineken 0.0, great taste, no alcohol for all you folks enjoying Carnival this weekend. Trust me, it's a good drink. Folks, honestly, we have a limited amount. If you haven't already, go to our website, register for the TDH community. Sancha has got some good things coming up. We're going to be doing some private shopping nights. We're going to be doing some brunches. We're going to be doing some community enrichment. Notice I didn't say charitable service, but sign up now. All right. Sancha, you ready?
Let's have it.
All right. It is the feud today. Number 1 answers only, folks. Hey, folks, help her out. All right. Here we go with the feud. Name a place that people go to which they insist be clean. Oops, wrong one.
Insist be clean?
Yeah, it has to be clean. You said what? Damn, she got that one time, folks. One time. My goodness. All right, next one.
I watched Family Feud.
What one thing in your house gets used more than anything else? One thing in your house that gets used more than anything else.
TV?
You said what?
Television.
TV? Just why?
I'm on it today.
I mean, I don't know. It's just Fridays might be her thing, folks. All right, last one, folks. Name something that would be impossible to do in the dark.
Read.
You said what?
Read.
My goodness, she got all number 1s one time.
Really?
No, what it say? It says read. You got every last one number 1. That
Go me.
You got this game at home?
No, but I'm gonna go and buy it. I like a game that I can be good at. I'm very competitive.
You know what I'm thinking right now? I think you've been hustling us. I think you've been getting this wrong so that you can show up one day and just show out. Yeah. Look, even look, Nicole, I was like, wow, Sancha, good job. Like, that I own in under 3. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I didn't mention I was doing this game with you today.
No, you didn't.
I'm not, Sandra. I'm not being insulted. I'm honestly shocked because you don't like the daily play like that. Like,
No.
okay, enough. Okay, congratulations, Sandra.
Thank you.
Folks. While we wrap it up, we're gonna give away two things today because yesterday, as Aunt Karen Simmons reminded us, we forgot to do the hashtag giveaway. So we want to send you off in the weekend with two giveaways. So the hashtag the Daily Hour is it. Hashtag the Daily Hour. And while you do that, Sanch and I is gonna wrap it up. Final thoughts on today's show, Sanch. What you thinking?
Final thoughts. It was a great question today. Like I said, I'm very happy that there are names that have been mentioned that I have never heard of, so I can go away and do my research. But I also think that it says a lot for us as a community if we're having a hard time finding these names, right? And I think we need to look to the next generation and we need to start instilling some of these things into them so that in years to come, these aren't difficult. It's about making good people, right?
Yeah,
Right.
no, seriously.
So that's kind of my thought on that. I do agree with the idea that maybe we should do every 5 years, not every 10.
Yeah, I wonder where that was discussed and why it was decided 10 years. And I know there are countries that have only like 10 national heroes, and they probably didn't want it getting out of hand that we have 8 after so little time. But I think every 5 years is probably a bit better than every 10. My concern with national heroes is, one, politicians are not heroes to me. I don't mind a person who's been a politician, but their work was done outside. But the other thing is, we've got to find a way to honor people while they're living. Only one of those people, if I remember correctly, was alive and they were recognized as a national hero in Bermuda, and that is Sir John Swan.
Yeah.
My hope is that the next time we name a national hero, they're here to celebrate it and enjoy it with their family and friends and feel the emotion that moment. Let's bring it in. Let's see who's getting the first prize, Sancho. Let's see who's getting the first prize. Let's hit that draw. Let's hit it. Oops, I forgot. Drum roll. Rhonda Lambert. Rhonda Lambert, you are the first winner today. Send us an email at engage@thedailyhour.com. So it's engage@thedailyhour.com. Send us an email right away, engage@thedailyhour.com, so that we can send you your winnings. Let's go back to the draw. Let's hit it again. Here we go. Let's see who the lucky person is. Oh, no, it's too soon. Takia Tucker. All right. Congratulations to you. So, Takia, send us an email at engage@thedailyhour.com as soon as you can. Sanchi, you've got some daily inspiration to send us off to Heroes Weekend.
Before I say that, I totally forgot, and Maddox would be so upset with me. Maddox had a milestone yesterday. So at Summersfield, he's moving from children's house to lower primary, and I'm not big on when they say children's graduation. Celebrating a little milestone, and I'm so happy for him, so proud of him. So
congratulations, Mad Dog.
Yes. And then I also want to tell people to please be safe during Carnival. COVID numbers are so high right now. Be safe, guys.
Okay. Reckless.
Yes. And I am going to leave you with, you cannot let all of the world's tragedies into your heart. You'll drown. But the ones you do let in should count. Let them manifest into action.
I like that. I want to share something. I want to share something before we go.
Yeah.
So this week, I've been working at my job since last October. And I shared on my personal Facebook, I just happened to text Charles Jeffers, the now former CEO of the BTA. And I asked Charles, I said, hey, do you know this CEO? He said, yes, what do you need? And he made a call for me once I told him they had this job. And I had only applied 9 p.m. that night. Charles sent an email. I got hit up for an interview 9 a.m. the next morning. Long story short, I was offered the job the following Friday. When I say the right connections matter in life, they do. And yesterday, I mean, the organization's top notch, right? I called Sherry, and Sherry always thinks it's emergency. She doesn't think it anymore because I call her sometimes, right? But I swear she thinks it's emergency. I said, Sherry, you know what my job just did? And to compete with the current labor situation where so many companies are offering remote work, my job yesterday, just as of July 1st, is offering employees the opportunity to work remote for 4 weeks of the year. Now we're already hybrid. We're already hybrid in a bid to compete with a change in workforce. Why do I share this private, not private, but with you all publicly? I share it because when companies value good people, they make simple changes to show that. It's not easy finding a good organization, but if you have one, sometimes it may take being a bit humble, putting your ego on the back burner, and honestly showing appreciation through good work. Folks, if you appreciated today's conversation, please give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. Thanks again to our partners, Medical House, One Communications, Lindo's, and People's Pharmacy for ensuring that we're able to do this with you on a daily basis. As always, we love you, appreciate you, and we thank you for making us part of your daily routine. If all goes well, we will be back to do this again with you again on Tuesday. She's Sancha Durham. I'm Jamal Hartman. My friends, please make it a safe and, as Sancha said, safe and great holiday weekend. All right? We're out. Enjoy it.